dear, we forgot. Dan, you have never looked more handsome. I'm telling you, what an improvement from usual.
Please record this. So
it is. I guess as those of you who watch us regularly know, this is not Dan. Okay.
A little lower and to the left.
A little lower and to the left. Okay, this is Jack. Bob, I call you Jack. I can't remember your last name.
Jack Windsor.
Jack Windsor, that's right. Jack has been a guest often, and he agreed to step in for Dan because he's off over there in Harrison. Couldn't get over here this afternoon. So Jack came in, and I said, anybody warn you you're going to be Dan today? And he's like, well, sort of, but I thought it was a joke.
So where do I get the check?
The check, oh yeah, the big check. In fact, the Wells Fargo truck has to roll up. It's so big, and they just kind of put it in the back. Yeah. But I have got a big thing to do right quick if I fix my watch, Jack. I don't know if this will offend you or not. Oh, yes, ladies and gentlemen, here it comes. Ta-da! There you go.
Hey.
Okay. Yay! There we go. This is our new. Yay! Woo! This is our new centerpiece for a few more days. Those of you at home who are Cubs fans, and I know there are many, tough. You still cheer for the National League no matter what. I do with the whole, Bronkman, the internet too. I always cheer for the Cubbies. And those of you who are Brewers fans, bunch of you, because I know there's a lot of Milwaukee people. Still, you got to cheer for the people who beat you. And if you're a Rangers fan, tough noogies. Okay? This is it. Yay! Go Cards. I'm ready. Okay, I'm done.
Have you had that for a long time?
No, this is a fairly new one. But I am the only son my father ever had. So I grew up watching the Cardinals with Daddy. Now, we watched them on TV, but we listened to them on the radio. You know how that is?
Yes.
So we had one of those old, stereo kind of things from the 1970s. I can remember, like, Kathy's laughing. I remember laying in the floor, and we would listen to the radio broadcast, and then we would watch it on TV. Well, so I literally grew up with that.
There was times when I listened to the radio. That's all there was the radio.
Are you before TV, Jack?
Tom Mix, the B. Barbie Ranch. The Shadow.
Oh, The Shadow knows. I love that.
Shows like that.
Yeah, and because I was talking, well, I'm not going to age you, because I told you, I said my students, we've been talking about the 1920s. Now, you don't remember the 1920s, no? Okay. But that's when those radio soap operas first started. And I've tried to tell us that people literally would just like sit around the radio like we sit around the TV and listen. And soap operas and a lot of the things they all started on radio.
The people, I lived in an apartment in Chicago, and the people who lived above
Cubs
us, below us had a TV set. They had a big bubble on the front.
Oh, yeah.
So it made things look bigger. And we would go down there to watch Kook, the Fran, and Ollie.
Okay, I can do that.
I was just a youth.
Yeah, exactly.
Sometimes my mom would get talking enough that we could go to the next show and we could watch some sort of a Western show. And so we were real quiet.
When did you get your first TV?
Oh, probably 8 or 9 years after that.
So, about what year? You care?
I don't care. It was in the early 50s.
Early 50s. So TV was still fairly new back then.
Oh, yeah.
See, I can remember I was born in 62, and I can remember, with a black and white TV. And we got our first color, and then the NBC Peacock would come out and do the little spread thing.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that was pretty groovy.
Yeah, well, that was neat.
Yeah.
Well, I had the bubble TV, and then I had a little screen about that big, little small screen. But we did have a TV, and it was all black and white, and Kook, the Fran, and Ollie was on for a long time, and so I really enjoyed it.
How many channels did you get?
I think 3.
3.
I think 3 was I recall it.
Yeah, and you lived in Chicago, so you were
in the city.
So you were in a city and could only see. We thought those of out in the country because Kathy Weaver's on again, and Kathy and I grew up in the same small town of Yellville because she's Kathy Holland to me, and we got what KY3 and Channel 10, 3 and 10. That was it. We got 2.
Well, here we are in the far south, and I didn't even know this town existed.
You didn't know this town existed?
No.
Well, how'd you find us?
Yellville.
Oh, Yellville. Hey, it's pronounced Yellville. Thank you very much.
Okay.
Yellville. Amen, sister. Yellville. And we won't even get into the turkey trot thing last week. We can't
I
talk
have a
about
good
that.
time talking to my friends back in the city to tell them that there's more people in my neighborhood in Chicago that are on this whole town right now. So.
Oh, heavens, yes. But it's kind of nice.
It's been a little bit of an adjustment. I've been here 20 years now.
Well, then you're almost a native.
Just about, yeah.
Just about?
Yeah. I still get called Yankee, though, but...
Well, that's okay because, people always upset people when I say northern Arkansas. We're Ozarkians, but we're not really Southerners. People say, oh, I live in the South. No, baby. If you think this is the South, you've never really been there. Well, you need to go down to Alabama, Georgia, Mississippi. That's the South.
My wife is from Mississippi.
Yeah, that's the South.
And she's still teaching me the language, okay? So I haven't learned it all yet.
Yeah, y'all and all that other kind of fun stuff. But we do have a lot of colloquialisms like that and different things, but it's all okay. And we are, most of us around here grew up being Cardinals fans and Dallas Cowboy fans. I think it's probably the football team around here and stuff like that. Well, so have you adjusted, or are you still a Cubby?
Oh, I love it.
Are you a Cubby still?
I'm a Cub fan. I was actually a Sox fan, but I lived on
really?
the south side of Chicago, and I was a Sox fan.
Oh, okay.
But,
so was Steve Barkman, wasn't that his name? Wasn't he the guy that reached out and messed up the catch when the Cubs almost made it to the World Series a few years ago? I think his name was Steve Barkman or something like that. Yeah, that was a tragic Cubby incident.
I saw it on the TV. But I didn't remember his name.
Yeah,
so.
I remember when Harry Carey died, and when the season opened the next year, I rushed home from work early so I could be there. I watched it on WGN when his widow helped sing "Take Me Out to the Ball Game." I cried.
Yeah.
I'm a huge baseball fan, so that was big for me.
Well,
it was
a great town to be from, as far as I'm concerned. Okay.
Who, Chicago?
Chicago, yeah. It was a great town to be from. It was a great town a long time. It had a lot of things to do there. I still enjoy going back and seeing my kids and my grandkids, but I love living down here in the mountain home.
I've been to Chicago twice, and it's been 20 years at least since I've been there, but I did go. I saw the Cubs play back when Ryan Sandberg still played second base, Saw the Cubs play and thought, okay, this is good, and went to the Natural History Museum, the Science and Technology Museum.
Science and Industry.
And Shedd's Aquarium.
Shed Aquarium.
My kids love Shed Aquarium, but after the first 10,000 fish, they all start looking alike.
Yeah. I've been there many, many times.
Well, what do you think about the weather change then if you're from Chicago? This isn't a big deal. All of a sudden it got cold today.
No.
What do you do when it gets cold? What's your favorite thing to do when it gets cold?
Make soup.
Oh, I made chili last night.
Or what's the churches always make this taco soup. Every church I've been to in the South here makes a taco soup.
Really?
Yes.
Well, we'll pick on Max because he's a Baptist, and you are too. The Baptist here today. I've never been to a Baptist potluck that didn't have a broccoli cheese casserole and deviled eggs. That's it. That's how you tell they're Baptist. There's broccoli cheese casserole and there's deviled eggs.
And now you can add taco soup to that because I'm making taco soup.
We can add taco soup. Well, I think we better get around and go to commercial. You and I are getting kind of carried away with all our visiting here. And let me tell you the guests right quick, and then we'll go. We have Lori Day Howe, Leslie Dew, and Kathy Weaver with the Wag Your Tail on David's Trail. Phyllis Holmes, a sweet dear friend of mine, and Dorothy Judd, both all good friends of Max's with the Twin Lakes Squirrel Society.
Jack,
excuse me, Max is out there. Max Pyron with the Senior Rally for Encouragement, and he's a pastor, so I cannot mess him up. And then Nancy Stang will be here with William Terrell for the Kindness Inc. Tea Party. And finally, Joanne Forbes and Margaret Williamson with the Hill Country Art Gallery. And we know I don't get carried away with Dan, but I've gotten carried away with Jack. So don't get too carried away. Make sure you come back. We'll be right back in about a minute.